Good morning, Oak Park School, and welcome to the Morning Roar. Today is Thursday, October 10th, 2024. Our special student guest for this morning's news is Jucinda. At this time, would you please stand and face the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you please remain standing as we recite the Panther Pledge?
I am respectful, on task, accepting, and responsible. I'm the Oak Park Panther. Hear me roar.
You may be seated. Thanks for helping out this morning. We will now take some time to pause for a moment of silence. Use this time for your own personal thoughts, prayers, or quiet reflections. Now it's time to put on your lab coats and head to the literacy lab.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to the Literacy Lab. I'm Patty Manson, and we continue our October Disabilities, Dyslexia, and AAC Awareness Month with a special guest, none other than Savannah Jones. Hi, Savannah.
I thank you for having me.
Oh my God, it's a pleasure. It's always great to have you, and thank you for coming back on the show. You're always a good guest. Savannah has bravely agreed to have a conversation with us about living with her disability, and she has chosen the things that we're going to be talking about, right? You ready to get started? Okay, so I'll read the questions that we picked, okay? So Savannah, what's the hardest thing that you have to face about living with your disability?
Not walking.
Okay, and then you were telling me a little bit more, and it's harder because why, honey?
It's harder because my family can walk and I can't.
Ah, right. And I'm sure you have a stinky brother at home who runs ahead, doesn't he? How do you cope and work around that, Savannah? How does that happen in your house?
I just deal with it.
Just deal with it. So when you're going places, you told me a little bit more about that when we were rehearsing. So when you want to go somewhere, how does that happen at your house?
My mom or dad put me in the car.
Okay. And then when you get to your destination, then what happens?
I get out.
And then what do they have to do with you?
Put me in a chair.
Okay. So that's a lot of work for you and for them, isn't it? Yeah, I bet you that is. You wanted me to ask you about taking a shower, honey. How does that work for you at home?
I use a shower chair.
Okay. And are you in there by yourself, or how's that work? You told me to ask.
Me. Mom or dad helps me.
Right, so you need some assistance with that as well, right, sweetheart? Yeah, well, that's got to be tough, especially if the water's not warm enough, right?
Yeah.
How about at night when you're getting ready for sleep? You told me to you want to talk about that a little bit.
My mom or dad helps me with that too.
And then you also told me that your mom and dad figured out a way for you to sleep better at night. What can you tell everybody about that?
They put a pillow in between
Your knees, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what kind of support, or how does that help?
It supports my hips going curving in.
Okay, okay. So may I ask you this, Savannah? Using the pillow then, do you feel better in the morning? Do you have less pain, or?
Yeah, I have less pain.
So that's a pretty good invention and discovery that your folks came up with, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah? Very good. Thank you. Now, tell me about some of the fun stuff you like to do. What do you do at home with your family?
We play games. We go out places.
And what kind of games do you like to play with everybody?
Uno float.
You any good?
No.
Are you terrible?
Yes.
So am I. I can't do it. I don't like the
I
flip.
can't do it.
No, I like regular Uno. How about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. What else do you play?
Phase 10.
I have no idea what that is. Are you good at that?
No.
So what's Phase 10? Is it a board game, a video
Card game.
Oh, another card game. So who's winning all the card games
My
at your
brother.
house? Your brother. Are these his ideas?
No, they are mine. I did.
Yeah?
Yes, yeah.
That's wonderful. I think we're going to have to come up with a new card game for you, though. Maybe we
Yeah.
could practice. So tell me this. What else do you like to do?
I like playing video games.
Video games? What kind of video games do you like?
Xbox.
Xbox. Everybody's got something that they like to play, right? So when you play Xbox, who do you play with?
My brother or sister.
Either one of them? Your parents walk away from that?
Yeah.
They just let the kids play? Very nice. You told me that you like to maybe mess with your brother or your
Yeah.
sister. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I throw the pillow at my brother.
What? And I think you also told me something about it involved your power chair.
Oh, honking at them.
Honking at them. Are you running anybody over at home?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Not yet, but there is time. So speaking of your power chair, it's like a car. Did you need to take a driver's ed class for this fancy machine?
It's my therapist helped me with them.
Okay, so you have a lot of controls. What part of it is hard to do?
When my head's down, I don't look up, and it's hard to drive with my head down.
Oh, so you're not seeing maybe where you're going? It's a little bit like texting and driving, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? You see those people doing that on the road? So tell me this. I noticed that sometimes when you're using your power chair, and you have over the past few years, sometimes you're leaning back a bit, sometimes in the classroom. So can you tell us about that?
Because it hurts my
It hurts your back?
butt.
Oh, your butt. It hurts your butt. Okay. So how does the leaning back alleviate that?
It relieves pressure off it.
Oh, okay, okay. So it takes some of the pressure off, and then you feel a little bit better, right? Now, do you have to do that a few times a day?
Yeah, a few times a day.
And then, okay, so that's pretty good. Tell me this, Savannah, what are some of the successes that you've had? School.
Working, making cards.
Oh, you told us about that, right? Making cards with your
Yeah.
class, right? And somebody also learned how to read with us, right? We're going back a few years, but you did. And you managed to come to school every single day.
Yeah.
And you have a very long bus ride, don't you?
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's a big success in and of itself, isn't it, sweetheart? Tell me this. Let's wrap up with one more question you wanted me to ask. What would you like what would you like the friends at Oak Park to know about you? About being smart.
Smart butt.
Right, what does your dad call you?
A smart butt.
Smart butt. So you want everybody to know that you're smart, right? Well, honey, you are. Very smart young lady, and thank you very much for spending the time talking with us. That wasn't so bad, was it? No, it was okay. You didn't seem nervous at all. Were you?
A little bit.
You did great. I think you're a natural. Well, thank you, friends, and we'll see you next time in lab. Say bye to everybody, Savannah.
Bye.
Now it's time for our Throwback Thursday, a time where we highlight a famous event on this day in history. Did you know on October 10th, 1845, the Naval School in Indianapolis, Maryland opened with 50 students, 7 professionals. The school was founded by George Bancroft, a historian educator and secretary of the Navy. They improved the way midshipmen were taught. We hope you have a great day, Panthers. And like always, continue to roar!